Watercolor Wednesday. My name is Gabriel Stockton, and we do some watercolors. If you're new here, if you're catching the live, I apologize. We had some difficulties with our car on the way home. I'm gonna wait for the algorithm to put some people on here, but we are talking tonight about our workshop that we have coming up. And we've already got 4 or more signed up. And I'm gonna go over that just here shortly. I need to get some water so I can paint. All right. We got some people hopping on here. Wonderful. What kind of cold beverage do you have? I have some tea. And it's been a really warm day here in San Diego. I got some wonderful things to share with you tonight. Tonight's going to be a quick one just because I kind of feel like the whole day is already ended. And, well, I promised the wife I would take her to the jacuzzi tonight. And I've got some other things to prepare for, and yeah, so looking for my brushes, which are right here in my backpack. Today was a nice day in the studio in San Diego, down at Balboa Park. And if you've not been to San Diego or Balboa Park, I'm gonna just suggest that you come out. And if you come out, you should definitely. So we're gonna kind of look at some materials that are for the workshop. And first of all, what's important to have right off the get-go. Wow, look at all this paper. Wow, I thought this thing was, I'll use a pen because you'll probably see better than with a pencil. And yeah, so number one, the main thing that's important for this workshop that's coming up is your paper. A lot of master watercolorists that I've interviewed, they have expressed that starting with watercolor, you need to have paper that's 100% cotton is the number one thing, all right? If you don't see on the packaging when you're getting a watercolor paper, for instance, this is Arches. See right there? It says 100% cotton. Now, if your paper does not say that, now this one does not say that because it said it on the packaging, all right? When they sold these, I bought these, it came in a pack of 3, and it even said it on their website. So this is Kilimanjaro. you can't get it just yet, but you would be fine with Arches, Fabriano, Artistico. And so what you're looking at is 160 pound. Now, for some of you that don't live in the United States, that's gonna say 300 grams. All right. And so most of you that are already signed up for this workshop know this information, but I know there's some of you that have forgotten. All right. So what types of other paper are there? Well, there's thicker paper, and there's one that's 300 pound, and then in grams. And why do you care? Well, maybe you might buy some paper that's inexpensive, that someone's getting rid of on eBay or something, and it's from France, and it's handmade arches, and it says it's 600 grams, and you're like, what is that equivalent to? 300 pounds. So there's one other one that is like 90 pound. I would not do 90 pound paper for this. I like 90 pound paper that is tonal. So that's the next step here. What types of paper are out there on the market? Well, you've got the good old natural. That's a color that is almost has like this. It's like a soft white. Okay, so you might even see paper that doesn't say natural, but it says soft white. All right, and then the other one you might see is bright white. All right, and there's some other ones out there. There's another word for bright white. Trying to think what they called it, but I digress. So now there's different textures of paper, and who's on here? I see two people. Say hello. So we've got, just right off the bat, we've got cold press, CP. All right, this is what this paper is here, but see on here, this, where would you look for it to say what kind of, and it says right here, hot press. See that? So the texture of this paper is smooth, kind of like if you were to iron out your clothes. So that will go over here, hot press, not HP. Do not think Hewlett Packard. All right. Over here, coming this way, there's a paper called rough. All right, we're just gonna put an R right for now. That rough paper has more texture. So the cold paper, if we were to look at it, cold press, hot press is like straight. Cold press from the side is kind of bumpy. And then we're seeing paper like this. From the side, and it has the hills and valley. Now, why would you want rough? Well, maybe you want to create a beautiful scene that's a landscape that's let's see, it's like southern Utah, some cool rocky stuff, right? And so you would have your color. For instance, this is Minnesota pipestone, and you know, that is gonna start doing some cool granules. And then what if I grab tiger's eye and put some tiger's eye in there? I think that's burnt tiger's eye. It's not that green. And then we splatter some water in there, and put a little more. We'll put some hematite. This is Minnesota pipestone. I think I'm on camera. Yeah. Now we put some of this stuff in there, and then you start to see like those granules. See that? So we'll talk about paint just here shortly, but we're looking at what is number one, where you want to put your money, and it's at 100% cotton. Okay, I'll show you again here. 100% cotton. Then we were talking about the weight of the paper. This one's 140. All right. Here's the size, and it tells you how many sheets are in this packet. All right. And for some of you that are on the matrix and the grams, that's over here. And so pretty nice, right? All right. So we have rough. Now there's another paper out there that probably this paper and this paper would be good to have for the workshop that's coming up. But this other one is UPO. UPO. This paper is actually not paper at all. It is actually a synthetic plastic, and a lot of people started using this paper because, well, they weren't artists. They were probably came to watercolor later in life, and they saw that you could paint watercolor on it, and if you didn't like it whatsoever, you could just go over to your kitchen sink and just rinse it right off. Now, the bummer about that paper is, what if you go out planing in France and you did this beautiful scene, and then you put it in your bag to come back home, and then for some reason your bag got soaking wet. Guess what? There was water and moisture in there, and the whole painting was rolled up, and then it's gone. So that's kind of frustrating. I did a plein air one time using the UPO. It was raining that day. I threw it in the trunk, and then I did some shopping, and then I got home, and the whole painting had slid and did some funky stuff. So I spent 3 hours on that painting, and I was like, man, never again. Now, if you plan on doing cool abstracts with watercolor, UPO is your go-to. There is one other paper that's out there, and if you want to do landscape and portraiture, it's over here. And it's neither hot or cold, and they didn't want to call it lukewarm, so they went with soft press. And soft press has like a really nice texture. It's not super bumpy. It's almost like those really nice sheets that you get. And sorry if there's some of you that are on here tonight or watching this later and you've heard this info. Just got to get everybody all up to par. But the soft press, it's a nice woven. So each one of these papers is made with this really cool screen, and it creates these different textures. Now the hot press is totally not even made. And you can go to my friend Lauren McCracken's. You can put in Lauren McCracken and then put in hot press paper is not watercolor paper, and he'll explain it why. And it does act different than these three here. So for the workshop, you're gonna want cold press or rough. Now I like to use I have Fabriano cold press. I also have Saunders Waterford for the rough, and I still have some lying around of this Kilimanjaro and some random sheets of arches and stuff. So each company has their different textures, and I would just say just buy some different bundles. But before I move on, 100%, okay? Don't come to this workshop with paper that you might have bought. Maybe there's a really pretty picture on here and you go, oh, someday I want to paint a pretty picture like that. But Gabriel, I don't see the price. I look on the back of here and, look on front, and I love that picture of the flowers or that cute little lammy or that adorable scene of the beach with the I was young and beautiful running on the beach with my puppy dog one day, decades ago, that was me in my bikini, right? So, all right, I digress. So, paper, we're good there. The next thing that's most important is your brushes. All right. So you're going to put your good money into the paper first, then your brushes. For the workshop, we're going to want a mop brush. I'm sorry, some of you that already signed up, you know this, but there's some other people that are kicking it around in their head, and that's beautiful. So this is a mop brush. It holds lots of water, and this is just like me just putting it over here in the paint. But that's not how we work as watercolors. We come in here and see, this is really, right now, this is a hot mess, this palette. I just got done working on a really cool picture. You want to see it? It's not what we're going to be doing for... actually, I lied. Well, it's not what we're going to do, but it is a landscape. And it's right here. Bum, bum, bum. So, when I was doing this painting, not too long ago, it's over here. Bum, bum, bum. Hey, get over here, buddy. You gotta talk to your paintings. If you don't talk to your paintings, well, they just think you're throwing them, throw them over there in a... So, I'm actually going to show you this one instead. This was a demonstration for a beginner class. And over here, there is paint on this paper. Because look, it's different color than this. This is the white of the paper. This is a bright white. Oh, I lied. This is a soft white, okay? And this is rough. See that rough texture? This paper is bright white, and I'm going to show you. See the difference? Now, a lot of people coming into watercolor the first time around, they think they bleach this, and that is not how they get bright white, okay? All right, so check this out. We have some tea. Cheers. I had to move it so I can. So I had just got this. See, I'm over here pointing at this red. This is quinacridone rose. And now that it has water in it, it's lighter. See that? I'm going to add more water to it. 1, 2, 3. All right, see you later, buddy. I am painting on an angle. Look at that. See how light that is? Now, look at that. So, this has been painted on. This was not painted on. All right. So, a mop brush gets me some different water to pigment ratio. And I'm not going to tell you all the secrets. You have to come to the workshop. And so the mop brush gets these wonderful. The other brush, so that particular mop brush is an Escoda, and I've used it so much now we can't see it, but it is an Aquario. Now, people look up Aquario and they end up finding this one, and see how it has gold? Now, this is a signature brush from one of my mentors, Joseph Zavukovic, an Australian master painter, and that's his signature brush. Now, do you see how this one is not shiny? I like this one because it doesn't shine in my eyes when I go out painting. Now, what you don't want to get is a brush called a oval mop. All right. It looks like this, like one of your painting or one of your makeup brushes. All right. You want one that's called a round and it has a nice point. I get people coming. Now you might find this mop brush. Now this mop brush is an Escoda Ultimo Evolution by John Coach. Wonderful friend out in Spain where these brushes are made. Now I did find a brand new Aquario. So this one has the squirrel hair to number 16. And yep, number 16. So there's another brush that you can get that Escoda is pumping out more, and it is the Ultimo right there. Okay, do not get confused and do the Evolution Ultimo. You will see the difference in price. All right, this is a brand new style brush that just came out. These holes here help you get more water in your brush. This is more of an advanced brush, so you could save money by just getting this Escoda Ultimo. Number 14 or 16 is fine. As you can see, the 14, it's right there. Oh, and it does say 14 on the Ultimo or the Aquario. Where can you get these? You can get them on Amazon. You can get them not at the Blick store, but at the Blick website. There's Jerry's Autorama. If you sign up on their newsletter, they have it available there for you. Now, the other one, now those are these nice light colors. So the next one you want to look at is the brush that holds less water. So that brush is a very thirsty brush, the mop. Now you want a brush like this one. This is the number 16 Escoda Perla. And camera wants me to pull it out of here. These just came in the mail. Number 16. So as a brand ambassador, they send these to me. I do not have a code for you to buy them to make sure they know you bought them from me or found out. I'm just a likable guy, and so, but if it's something that fits your budget, all right, because we talked first about paper and then brushes. What does this look like? See how it gets like stiff? So when you first get one of these brushes, there's nothing wrong with it. It's got this little bit of olive. So you just put it in the water and see that? It just softens right up. It's just got like a little bit of, yeah. A little bit of olive. They have a cleaner for these that are pretty nice. Now I can get in here and we'll get some, so you can see it, some lavender. And now this guy goes right over the top. Now, did you see how we got some of those little bumps and stuff? And you're like, oh yeah, dry brushing. That's right. So this brush holds less water. And this one is a number 16. Now, for the workshop, a number 10 or 12, I would definitely say 12. And I've seen them really cheap, really affordable. Artists and craftsmen used to carry them. I don't know now. But yeah, so those now can go over the top of these because why? The paint's thicker and drier. All right. So I will be using those brushes. If you have something similar or comparable, great. All right. I'm not like, you better have those or you're kicked out of here, buddy. So, having those two brushes, you can get these really light colors. In watercolor, we use water. We don't use like acrylics, you know, they add whites and blacks. And we learn how to use water and complementary colors and the color wheel to do these wonderful things. All right. See this thicker pigment? That's done with the perla. That thicker stuff. Don't look at it being dark. It's not. We're not using like black. We're using less water, and here we're using more water. And moving on. So, bump, bump, bump. Go back to our list. So number 2 is brushes, and then we have number 3. Drum roll, please. That's not a drum, but that's something to drum on. All right, here we go. So number 3, well, this is number 4. Number 4 is a 3B or 4B lead. All right, if it's a mechanical pencil, great. This little squishy guy, so I don't really like these new mechanical pencils. They are round. They used to be hexagon. So I put the little squishy on there, and that helps a lot of my ladies with the arthritis on their hands. And so, but look, if you have one of these, the old Cheap Joe's pencil, that's actually a 3B. All right. We want a soft lead. All right. So brushes, pencils. Does anybody know what number 3 is? Watercolors. Yeah, that's right. So I like to use Daniel Smith watercolors. And let's see here. Bum, bum, bum. All right. That's what I'll be using. All right. Take a snapshot. I'm totally kidding. Let's look at some of them. Right here, manganese blue. I love this color. If you don't know how to do a really nice water scene where it looks beautiful and it looks like a really nice fade, granule from white to a dark blue, this is your paint to get. All right, so what other blue will I use? Ultramarine blue, there you go. And sorry, I'm not showing you my fancy ones. And ultramarine blue, and so there's another manganese. Cobalt blue is another color I will be using. If you have something comparable of those 3 blues, you're gonna rock and roll. Quin Rose, all right. So if you don't have Quin Rose, but if you have like a Lenzing Crimson, that's great. If you have Rose of Ultramarine, that's delicious. Quin Lilac, no, that's not gonna be the same. The other color, moving on down the road, is transparent Pyro Orange. This is a game changer. This is totally different than cadmium orange. All right. We are doing transparent watercolors, and this makes a great skin tone with olive green. All right, and another color I will be using that is red is Pyro Red. I prefer Pyros because they granulate and they're very transparent as opposed to cadmiums. And I've gone off my schmeal lots and lots of times. Now, Gabriel, do you not use black? I do use a black. I like Lunar Black. Lunar Black is a nice black that is transparent, all right? But it granulates like amazing, but it's transparent. You're like, oh, but I have Mars black. You know, is that like lunar black? Nah. Mars black has soot in it. It's actually made from burnt chicken bones. So your painting is going to look like it's dead. Another black I do like is also a transparent black, and that is the McCracken black. I've got more of this. I just got to get it out of the box. So I think I do. Maybe I need to order some more. So as a Daniel Smith brand ambassador, and my other colleagues, they have signature paints. And so the McCracken black, it's a transparent black. Those are my two blacks I go-tos. Another color that I'll be using for the workshop. Let's see. I've got extra colors out. Goethite. Now, wow, these are all... that's raw sienna. They're not the same. Raw sienna and goethite are not the same. Goethite is a fancy word for brown ochre. All right. So you might have another brand that says brown ochre. I don't know if it's going to be the same, but I will be using yellow ochre. I'll put that over here. I should have kept one of the goethites out. All right, goethite, yellow ochre. My other yellow I'm going to use is right here. Hansa Yellow Light. All right. So these are the colors I'm going to be using during the Zoom workshop. Cobalt turquoise. Now, I know a lot of you know I like Sleeping Beauty turquoise. They act different, okay? They do not. I've got right here Cobalt turquoise and Sleeping Beauty. They act different. They respond differently. Another fun one a lot of you know I like to use is Moon Glow. All right. Moon Glow, great color. There's the McCracken black. Yeah, I knew I have more. All right, and another fun one, but you don't have to get, is graphite gray. Some of you know I like to do little quick studies. I like graphite gray. It's a fun color. I'll show you right here. It looks like graphite, but it has no graphite in it. One time I did a beautiful painting, and I called the painting a graphite gray day, and someone tried to kick it out of the show because the show was supposed to be watercolor only, and they said we're not doing graphite only paintings. And I said, well, if you knew anything about anything, you would know that it's a synthetic watercolor that is semi-transparent. And actually, I could be wrong. It could be just transparent. Let's look. Bum, bum, bum. So these are all Daniel Smith colors. And graphite gray is not transparent. It's opaque. So it's got PB10. All right. That's pigment black number 10. We go over here to lunar black and see lunar black is PBK11. So it's a little bit darker. Now we go over here, and what was our other black? Do you remember? Lauren McCracken. What's cracking? Look at all these colors that make Lauren McCracken black. He used to get people to go, hey, will you show us how to make your McCracken black? He goes, well, I'm only here for 2 days, so do you want to only learn how to paint for 1 day and learn how to mix this color all day? And they said, no, just sell us the tube. But here is the ingredients, and it's PB27, which is pigment blue 27, PR 101, which is pigment red, PV, which is pigment violet 23, PV 19, all right, PR 177, PY, which is pigment yellow, and then PR 149. So just like ingredients for your food that comes in a box, this is the first color, PB27, which you go over here and you look. PB27, ladies and gentlemen, is right over here. Bum, bum, bum. PB, oh, come on. Don't be shy. Get out here. PB29 is ultramarine, French ultramarine. And PB, come on. Dun, dun, dun. He's here. He's here. Hiding. There he is. That is Persian blue. All right. So you start out with Persian blue. You mix out all these other pigment reds and stuff. Or you can just buy it. All right. I digress. So it was also transparent. I like this because look at how it's even drying right now. Look at that. And I can get it lighter than this. All right, moving on. So that one is optional. You don't have to get the graphite gray, but it is a game changer. All right. Now, be careful. Okay, caution. Beep, beep, beep. All right, and we're almost out of time. We've got here, that says gouache. This is watercolor. Be careful, all right? But Daniel Smith does make Hansa yellow. Oops, this says medium. And but they do have a Hansa yellow light. One live stream we did, I grabbed the, what was it? The opera pink. I wasn't paying attention, and it said gouache. You guys didn't tell me. It was like I was painting in front of you with my fly down. And but yeah, moving on. So those are my yellows. We got yellow ochre. We've got Hansa yellow light and goethite. There's one more, and it's not yellow, but it's close enough. And that is is Quinn Gold Deep. All right, I'll say it again. Quinn Gold Deep. It's not Quinn Gold. All right, Quinn Gold is not as strong. All right. Moving into the reds, we've got Minnesota Pipestone. Now, if you have burnt sienna, you're okay. All right. I just prefer this one because it granulates even more, and it's super fun. And if you don't believe me, and some people go, "Oh, Daniel Smith, they just put paint in a tube and call it something else," and that's not true. This pigment here is a synthetic color that was designed by chemists. There's a lot of products that you buy that have burnt sienna pigment in it, but you're not going to see this unless you go to Minnesota Pipestone area where this stone grows. It's not Minnesota. Anyways, moving on. I'm being sarcastic. It's been a frustrating day. All right, so this one is burnt sienna. All right. And this one is the look how lighter and pretty this is. The same amount of water as I had there. And then it even is more transparent. And when I give more water to it, it comes to life. And then this one, The reason I quit using this one is because everybody and their mother, it's a staples color. Like, I'm starting watercolor. What should I buy? Well, whatever else everybody is buying. So they are a very similar hue. Now, if I use a mop brush, it's got more water, I can get that color down, all right? And vice versa. Is that right? Vice, whatever. I'm being silly. So we've got burnt sienna, the Minnesota pipestone. I threw it in a bag. Holy cow. My point is, if I put more paint on my brush, I can get it dark like this one. Now, these we won't be doing, but this other one, this is hematite burnt scarlet. This is another lovely reddish brown. And I come across so many wonderful rocks here in Santiago, San Diego. And this is that, just like that hematite bracelet you like wearing so much. And it makes wonderful granule colors. Again, this is part of the Permatech series. See that P? That means it. So, you know, all the other colors I was reading off to you. Like, how do you know what this one has? Well, it says on there. Bum, bum, bum. All right. So, Minnesota pipestone. There it is. Bum, bum, bum. So, it's super thick now. And what I was saying, if I take this brush, has less water, now I can put more pigment on here, and I'm creating some darker darks. And of course, I'll teach in the workshop, we can add ultramarine blue, which is a warm blue, into this. Now, the group that's already on signed up, they know a lot of stuff that I'm teaching. So, but it is not just a advanced class. So, hematite, burnt scarlet. But if you have burnt sienna on your hand, don't lick it off. It looks like chocolate, right? Like the good chocolate, like it's not even called chocolate. It's like that, like bougie stuff, like where it has less sugar, and it's like, I don't know, spelled like C. It's not even, it doesn't even have a CH. It's like cocoa. Moving on. All right. I do use Jean Brilliant and 1 and 2. For the workshop, we're going to be doing portraiture. We will be using the Jean Brilliant 2. But if you're going to buy them, you might as well get that one. And Coral. I actually threw Coral over here already. So, is that Coral? These are the 3 new ones. If you missed it, I did wash these. I did a swatch to these the beginning of the year. So, yeah. So, Jean Brilliant for sure. It's right here in my palette. I don't know why I didn't just lay these on my palette like how they are. Boop. Like that. And like this. Alright, you guys, I promise. The wife, the hot tub. Yeah. We already did ultramarine blue. We already did Jean Brilliant number 2. Oh, yes. If there's a green that I love and adore, because I normally mix my own greens now, I'm using the lovely Hansa Yellow Light or the Coin Gold Deep. All right, Green Apatite. And look at that Hematite Burnt Scarlet granulate now. Wow. You can make this look like wood sometimes. It's so cool. Tiger's Eye. I love me some Tiger's Eye, but if you're like, which one of these two should I get for the workshop? Green Apatite. I use that one more. If there's one other green I would use is so everybody used to sea green, and like actually I already have the colors on my palette to make that. I'm gonna show you. Bum, bum, bum. So many people go and buy this color because even the tube just looks super sexy. Undersea green, like who wouldn't want to have undersea green? But look at this, PB29. That is ultramarine blue. So you put ultramarine blue down, and then PO 48. That's pigment orange. We go over here to pigment orange 48. Bum bum bum. See, some of these colors are single numbers. And pigment 48. Come here, buddy. Bum bum bum. 48. Some of you already know. Put it in the chat if you already know. I always have to look back here to remember. All right, moving on. I got, oh no, down here. Dun dun dun. Pigment. It's here. I know you are. Oh, right there. Right there. Quinacridone Gold. Yeah, Quinacridone Gold. And then PY150. PY150 is right over here. Bum, bum, bum. Well, it's not Indian Yellow, but Indian Yellow has it in there. And it is here. Oh, right there. Nickel Azo Yellow. So if you already have those colors, guess what? You could already make yourself. Now, what about olive? That's another one. So PY97, this could be your homework. Or pigment PB29, which we just said, that's ultramarine blue. If you don't believe me, you can take a screenshot. Fact check me, please. And pigment PR7, which we already pulled up earlier. All right. So this color cannot be mixed because it is a Daniel Smith Permatech. Oh, I got the worst copy. So Daniel Smith Permatex. I probably just got it messy putting down there. My bad. Yeah, it's wet. Ew. We'll just shut that so we don't have any more mistakes. So these Permatex. These are all mineral pigments, okay? They're not jewels. You can't charge more money, all right? But yeah, I mean, there's rhodonite, purpurite, amethyst, serpentine, zoite, garnet. The list goes here. Black tourmaline. Oh my goodness. Yes, I have them all. Who else is here? Jamie's here. Jamie, are you joining us on your birthday? Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. Or am I thinking of someone else? Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of someone else. But it could be your birthday anyway. Whatever. I'm glad you're here. All right, so that's my green. Yeah, so those colors. Now, there are two colors I didn't share because I probably won't use them during the... But I do have some green or gray titanium and buff titanium. Those are right here. reason why I use these sometimes is I need some thick pigment. This is like a neutral gray, and then this is like a warm white. Here is Chinese white. It's hard. It's time to just pop this out of there, change it out. And that's a video I'm gonna make. There are some shorts on how to fill this up. Here is a gouache white. I did not see any gouache in here because he is over here. This is the Daniel Smith titanium white gouache. This works the best on bright white paper. We talked about that earlier. So if you're just joining us, because there's more of you on here, hallelujah. Sorry I'm so late. We had some just problems with our car today, and well, yeah, we know how that goes, right? So, what did I miss? What did I miss? I mean, I have some cerulean blue, but I rarely use it now since I'm not teaching beginners. But you'll be really good if, oh, and of course, lavender. I think I mentioned lavender. I was due on the channel. Moonglow, Lauren McCracken Black. That is the graphite gray. These are some random grays that are just like whatever. These change all the time. And I just get in these weird moods. Sometimes I put a little thing of paint here and a little thing of paint there. We had Tiger's Eye, Burnt Tiger's Eye, Hematite, Minnesota Pipestone, Quinn Rose. I changed to Quinn Rose because it has a lifelong shelf. And the Limson Crimson, everybody and their mother was using it. And neighbor and dog and niece. And, but every now and then I get someone that says, will you do a flower demo? Or they randomly just, can you do something bright? And so if there's a color that I'm gonna put, now if you don't have Pyro Red, but you have Pyro Scarlet, that's fine. And you will get a recording of this wonderful demo. And I've got everything lined up to ship out. I think, yeah, we're at 4 or 5 people now that are signed up. And yeah, you guys have any questions for me? So the only other things that, I mean, I put a list down if you're getting the newsletter. If you didn't get the if you didn't get the newsletter, just email me at Gabriel Stockton, my name, with the number 7@gmail.com. Of course, you need an eraser. That wouldn't hurt, you know. I like these guys, all right. I also like the kneaded erasers, and you know, there was one stuck on the bottom of my shoe all day, and I thought maybe it was gum, but I looked and it was just an eraser, and I go, oh, okay. I'm telling you, it was just one of those days. The kneaded eraser is, well, you need it when you need to erase. And it shows up when he needs his job. Now, tape, you're going to want tape. But here's the real kicker. Board. A board. I like this board. This you can get at the hardwood store. This type of wood starts with a B. Birch wood, that's it. It doesn't warp. Okay, so if you're ever thinking about doing that cool new way of watercolor where you adhere your watercolor paper to a board and then you glaze it with something that is, oh, say, yeah, we'll talk about that another time. But to paint on a surface like this, I had a lady come with this big old thick wood. It was like that thick. And I went over to pick up her picture to like look at it, and I go, "Oh my God, like, what do you got here?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, my husband, he chopped down a tree and whittled me some wood for this class." And I go, "You're kidding?" And she's like, "No." And it sure was. I thought it, I thought it was. I thought it was a freaking cutting board, but it was like a real like tree. Uh, I can't make up this stuff, people. And the other thing that was crazy that blew my mind, like lady came, she got this it was like a serving tray, and so it was already thick compressed wood, and then it had like like when you bring breakfast to someone in bed, one of those things, but it was like from like the 70s, and it had like tile and grout, and this thing seriously weighed like 45 pounds. Like the lady was out of breath when she showed up to class every day. uh, I'm serious, I can't make up this stuff. So the thing I would not suggest is plexiglass, all right, or matte board. But if you had like that foam core stuff too, like they use for those project boards or whatever. Now they have that other kind of wood that you see like the campaign. Those are great for plein air. But now if you're really broke because you spent all your money on paper uh, and brushes, uh, there's that thing that you get back out of the back of your picture. It's kind of like out of an IKEA picture. It kind of looks like this stuff. All right, so you never want to frame your painting with this kind of wood because it's treated. But this is like what comes out of the back of one of those IKEA frames. You might have one. Just you probably bought a frame that you haven't put a picture in it, and it's in your way, and you just pull that wood out of the back of there. And what else? What else? I said pencils, erasers, tape, the backing. Oh yeah, and a beverage. And a notebook. Just a good old. You could even just use typewriter paper. And those are gonna be good for the workshop. Now, all right. One last thing I'm gonna leave you with is, how are you making circles? You're like, what? Yeah, you heard me right. How are you making circles? Are you making circles with your pencil and they look like this? That is not a circle. And then you're like, okay, well, what if I go like this, that? And I know you're supposed to like maybe turn the paper, right? And then it goes natural to turn your wrist, and then then I turn it this way, and then I turn it that way, and then there, yeah, look at that. That's smooth, right? And I was like, that looks kind of like a boiled egg I've pulled out of the shell after having it sitting in water and ice. The shell comes off nicely, and it has an extra little hole there. Now that's an olive. So then, like, there's some of you that are engineers, and what do? It's so cute. Like, I go, hey, can you guys show me how you do a circle? And they go, oh yeah. So making a circle, you grab this little square, and you would go like this, and you would find the centers. And I go, God bless you. Look at that. You're still working on. I come back a half an hour, and an engineer is doing this thing. And they go, oh, like this. I bring that edge like that. Yep, you see me? I've already finished a painting by now. And then they go, and then you turn the paper, and then you come like this, and I go, bless your heart, look at that. That is such a nice circle. And then they go, oh, I'm not done yet. We are half of a circle. And I go, oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm on my second painting now. And class is going to be getting out soon. And they go, oh, well, always as an engineer, we milk the clock. I'm just telling you what I heard. Don't shoot the messenger. All right, look at that. That is a nice circle. And you know what? Let's compare that. Let's compare oranges to apples. Or is that what they say? Apples to oranges? I don't know. And to make sure I'm honest, I'm gonna use ink. And let's find out. What do we got here? Do we got a perfect circle? Is it it's gonna bleed? No. Well, look at that. That's a perfect circle. I don't know what that thing is, but this is how you make a perfect circle. But I wasn't talking about that. That's a perfect circle. That you cannot argue with, you know? Let's put another perfect circle in there. How would you do that? Oh, well, I think Gabriel, we find half and half, and I don't know, did you? Oh, no, that's not perfect. That's okay. This is a watercolor workshop, and this is how you do a circle. This is how you would do a circle with a paintbrush. Maybe you've never even, maybe you're watching for the first time. This is a recording, and this is like, I don't know, 3040 AD. Is that right? It's not BC. All right, here we go. So maybe you would do one of these things. And then guess what? The circle keeps getting bigger. And you're like, oh, I'm supposed to fill it in, right? And you're going, oh. And I'm like, that's awesome. But the circle was not supposed to be that big. All right. So that circle, that's, you know, that's kind of a nice organic way. And so the other way is you might do one of these, right? You're gonna do like, remember, you're like, well, I did was a good colorer in the coloring book arena. I got an award one time. I turned in. I got a participation award for doing the nicest coloring book of a rose. I actually got sent home. I got actually kicked out of school for a week. I turned in a rose painting. Do you want to see my rose painting I turned in? My rose painting was actually this color. I did one of these like this. And then here, this was my rose. Now, my cute little girlfriend at the time, Maria. Of course, I was in California. My girlfriend. I shouldn't even had a girlfriend at that age. If my teenager is watching this later, she's gonna get upset. So I did a rose that actually, and you would have probably did green right here, but I didn't. I actually brought some of the red in here, and then the blue, and then I took yellow. I went like this. This was with color crayons. I did this business. I went like that, and then I took some more blue, and then I took some yellow, and this side was more softer because it was in the... Now, mind you, this was Crayolas, and I was painting in the lines, but this was the rose I turned in. Now this looks more like some lady dancing with no clothes on, but we're not going there. We're keeping it PG, folks. All right, so dropping that green in there like that. This side was different because the sun was hitting it. And then this side was lighter with some texture. Do you see how I rolled that brush? I just showed you how to do a circle. You weren't paying attention. You were flipping through your phone and you missed it. I know. So I got sent home because my rose was not red. I did not follow the instructions like every other child that painted the red rose and got a participation award. Actually, they didn't do a petition. They didn't do those when I was a kid. So that's actually even too far. That's just like too right-brained. This is what my rose should look like. Anyways, I got suspended from school for a week painting this rose. And my mother went down to the school and picked 24 dozen roses from our garden. Guess what they look like? This rose here. My teacher was in tears. Anyways, all right. If you want to see how I do a wonderful painted circle, sign up for the workshop. Thank you so much, all of you that are here. I appreciate you. Sorry we started late today. Look, there's my fingerprint, and it's in that rose. It should be in this one. Anyways, that's another painting that got me in trouble. I did a self-portrait with just thumbprints, and that got me in trouble in junior high. And all right, so check this out. Tomorrow is the last day to get the discount for the early bird discount. So if you are on the fence about joining us, I would just say do it. Hop in there. I have already got someone that has signed up and they said, Gabriel, I can't make the second one. Can I still get the recording? I said, yes, but I'm expecting you to email me any question if you watch the recording because you weren't there to ask. So if you could only make the one day, and then you can, of course, get the recording. Now, you're going to be able to get the feedback from me that you're not getting here. The other thing that you're going to get, which I know a lot of people are enjoying, is the community. A lot of you have been talking down here in the chat, and I see T-Cal here. I'll see her tomorrow. Hi from Montana. I'm going to see you tomorrow morning for our tutoring. And I do tutoring too. So, well, there's Zoom teaching one-on-ones. Chinese white, actually, a gouache. Not yet. Right now, it's just what Daniel Smith is the titanium white, unless that has transpired without me knowing yet. The Chinese white for watercolor, it's a go. If you don't have the titanium white. Have a wonderful night, you guys. I'm headed out to the wonderful pool, and we're gonna cool off and have a wonderful week. Again, sign up today or tomorrow to get that early bird special. Take care, and I'll leave you with one of these wonderful pictures. If you're new here, we did this wonderful piece. It's actually over there. Bum, bum, bum. It's in this one. See, when you buy these little watercolor guys, you want to get a couple of these books all at once. And so these have all been wonderful. Look at that. That was a fun, crazy night. Do you remember that? All right, I'm out of here. Take care. I gotta go chase the wife down the road there. Take care. Bye.